It is April 26th. It is day 97 of the Trump presidency. We are almost at 100 days. I am very irritable when it comes to the state of affairs in our country right now and the world in general. In fact, I was just thinking, and we're going to talk about India and Pakistan in a second, later on actually in the show, but I think the tension on the planet with humans in general right now is pretty high. And I think that is really hard. It's hard all around, and it's a scary time. And I think what's happening to the United States, whether or not there's some sort of degree of schadenfreude for other countries, and I'm sure that there is, and I get it. You know, countries have been angry with the U.S. for a long time for good reason. But I think that still seeing the downfall of this country is affecting the entire world. And it's scaring the entire world. And it's also putting the entire world on edge. And it has destabilized the world order. If the world was a Jenga tower, right? One of the key pieces just got pulled out, and a lot of other pieces are getting really shaky because of it. In any case, speaking of world issues, there was a chemical blast at Iran's Bandar Abbas port, and it killed 14 people, injured hundreds of people. They're saying they're attributing it to missiles fuel that was like improperly stored. I'm hearing obviously conspiracy theories about it. I don't believe that Iran is accusing any other country of doing this. They're taking the blame for it themselves, but I am still hearing, Middle Eastern creators that I follow on TikTok, accusing the United States of doing this. Maybe, man, I think it's possible. I don't know. Whatever. It sucks regardless. Obviously, it's a much bigger deal if it was intentional by anyone. But it sounds like at this time, Iran is not calling this foul play. So, speaking of foul play, Russia now claims that it has regained full control over the region of Kursk. Sorry. You can tell that I'm not Russian or Ukrainian because I can't fucking say these words. And Ukraine disagrees. They say that they're still battling in the region. I don't know. Seems like things are certainly not cooling off over there. I guess that Zelensky and Trump actually had a weird meeting at the Pope's funeral, or beforehand or something. And Trump is really easy to sway, especially if you catch him in the right situation and you say the right things to him. But again, do I believe that Trump isn't under Russia's thumb? No, obviously Trump is under Russia's thumb. It's evidenced by everything he says and does. In any case, he is threatening new sanctions on Russia. There's no, Russia doesn't have tariffs. There's no sanctions to speak of in the first place. So I don't know what secondary sanctions means. And it doesn't say. I was like, okay, what are the sanctions? What do you mean? Or what are we doing specifically to Russia if they don't X, Y, and Z, right? But nothing is the answer. Trump did say he thinks Putin doesn't really want to stop the war. And that he's just, he said he's just stringing Trump along. I don't really know if Trump would be able to follow a script at this point, because I believe he has at least early onset dementia. People who have had loved ones with dementia seem to feel like it's later than early. So I don't know. I feel like I feel like sometimes he says things he's not even really supposed to say. So I don't know. But do I feel like he's getting played by Russia? Yes, absolutely. Someday maybe we'll know to what extent. In any case, I don't foresee that war stopping anytime soon. I think that Russia may keep saying that they want peace, but obviously they continue shelling. So clearly that's not the case, right? It's a little bit more important that they're actually still dropping bombs and, attacking them with drones. This is very sad. There is a woman named Virginia Giuffre. I really should use some sort of pronunciation tool before I get on here and try to say people's names. I'm sorry. Her last name is Giuffre, but if you type in suicide, Epstein, Virginia, it'll come right up. Unfortunately, they believe that she took her own life. She was one of the main plaintiffs in the case against Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein, and she was 41 years old. It's kind of an interesting situation, to say the least, because she has posts on her social media saying that if she ever dies by suicide, no, she didn't. People are pushing back against that and saying that those posts are like a couple of years old and that she was going through a hard time, but like she went through a divorce. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if you guys watch Black Mirror, and I won't give anything away, but there are people who will try to make something look one way. Like the CIA is known to mess with people's heads until they go insane and do something. I believe that you probably could pressure someone into doing that to themselves, like with psychological torture or something of that sort. But also maybe it's not even that deep. Maybe they literally, somebody just, Anyways, it's a very suspicious situation. Maybe she really did it. I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to have answers, just like we still don't have answers about what actually happened to Epstein. So a federal judge is saying that there was a 2-year-old U.S. citizen that was deported without any due process. She was deported to Honduras. Her dad was frantically petitioning the courts to try to stop this. At least, because I was about to literally my head was going to pop off my body. At least she is with her mother and her older sister, who are Honduran citizens, okay? So it's not like they just picked up a 2-year-old and shipped him off and opened the door and kicked him out. That didn't happen, okay? So, it's very sad for the father. I don't know what his situation is. Why would he stay here? He should just go. I don't even know why he wants to be here anyways, frankly. And I'm sure I don't know what the situation in Honduras is or why they were here in the first place. Maybe it's dangerous for them there. Is it more dangerous than it is here? I don't know. I find that hard to believe. You know what I mean? At this point, probably not. Because they're not, it's like a sort of a no holds barred situation, and at least they sent them back to their original country. Thank God. It's not like all the other people that they've just been deporting them to countries they're not even from sometimes. It's okay. Well, in any case, it's a nightmare that they are just snatching babies and people off the streets without warning. It's definitely reminiscent of a time that I know we really wanted to not repeat, but here we are. So Pam Bondi and Trump have removed critical protections for journalists, which were instated by Biden, and they've been removed by Trump. Shocker, right? This is basically, it restricts subpoenas of a reporter's phone and their phone records in a criminal investigation where leaking is involved, right? So essentially, long story short, now it would allow their phone records to be searched to identify the leaker, and then they would be forced to testify. And that was the protection in the past. And the problem with that, for obvious reasons, is that people will not come forward with information anymore. If they know that a reporter can't report on it anonymously. It should be illegal. It is intimidation. And yeah, it's totally unsurprising. And I'm sure it's going to get worse. So speaking of intimidation and illegal, Kash Patel posted a photo of Hannah Dugan's arrest, which that is the judge from Milwaukee that helped the immigrant escape out the back door through the jury door, who was arrested the other day. Apparently there is a DOJ policy against posting a photo like that. He doesn't care. Those people don't fucking care. There's going to be no consequences for that. Are you kidding me? There's so many laws being broken by this administration that the odds of them facing consequences are low. Because it's like what does Steve Bannon call it? Well, blitzkrieg, but isn't there like another word for it that's not German? Anyways, if you flooding the zone. If they flood the zone, not just with information and despair, but with crimes, it's hard to pick which ones to go after, right? Think about the Signal chat. Oh my God, I forgot to look this up. Shit. What is her name? Tulsi Gabbard. I wanted to read this so bad, but I saw the headline and I was doing something else. Tulsi Gabbard is trying to blame the Signal chat leak on Biden. I'm not kidding. I don't know why. I think that's so fucking funny. Like, that's honestly hilarious. I'll look it up after this, but I will probably forget to tell you tomorrow. So look it up yourself. They're so unreal. It's like, it really is the most standard. It's like they're following like the abuse textbook. Like, whatever you're doing, just blame it on the other person, and never stop accusing other people of the shit that you're doing, and they'll lose their minds. And anyways, this is another really sad situation. ICE has deported the mother of an infant, only 1 year old, and has separated them indefinitely. The infant is here. Again, part of me is like, why? I guess they snatched the mother off the street and they gave her no way to contact her family or anything. And then they just deported her within 72 hours. So I hope that they can get in touch and that this baby can get back with its mother immediately. Get that fucking baby out of this country, man. Get those people, get the whole family out of this country. They got to get away from these psychopaths. I said this before, and I know that it's like complying in advance, and I get it, but like, it's not safe for people to be here right now. For their lives, it's not safe. Look what they're doing. There's no humanity in it. You just separated a baby, the amount of trauma that they just inflicted on this baby is insane. They don't give a fuck. They do not give a fuck. In any case, wherever they sent her cannot possibly be worse than this country right now for her and for that baby. So I hope to God that they can get the baby and whoever the dad is and like get them out of here to be reunited with that mother. I don't know why anyone would want to be here right now anyways. Honestly, it's humiliating. So, super short show tonight. This is the last story. It's a really big deal, and this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. So, India and Pakistan have moved another step closer to war. I'm going to preface this by saying I have no knowledge whatsoever of the history of India and Pakistan. It sounds like they have been through 3 wars over this. 2 of them were over Kashmir, which is what this is about right now. And again, I don't know why, but my initial instinct was like, I feel like the United States is partially responsible for this. I know that sounds insane, But I'm serious. I think that the tension on the planet is affecting literally everyone right now. I think that because the United States has acted as a linchpin for the world in so many ways, financially, ethically, and again, we're not debating over whether the United States has pure ethics. Obviously not, right? But we were supposed to be like this pillar of democracy, and was it perfect? Fuck no. Do we have a lot of problems? Absolutely. Everybody knows that. I think that the point is we were setting the pace in certain areas and also scaring other countries into a form of submission, frankly, with our military being a nuclear power, and NATO also kept this sort of like boundary. And with all of that falling apart, and with Trump being now predictably on Russia's side, and people can say, oh no, he's going to sanction them. No, the fuck he's not. No, he's not. He's not going to do shit to Russia, I can promise you. I think that it just, again, it destabilizes everything. And it also opens the door for like smaller dictators to like see if they can take their shot, because who's going to fucking stop them? If the United States isn't going to do anything and NATO is falling apart, and NATO has to conserve its soldiers and its weapons and all of that in case they need to like use it against us, because they might. It's a situation where people can shoot their shot when it comes to like trying to take over territories and stuff that they just have wanted. I mean, it's just disgusting what's happening to human beings right now. I am losing faith in humankind, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, okay. So, Kashmir. There was an attack in Kashmir, which is like a tourist area. And how many people died? Where did I write that? Oh, no. 26. 26 people were killed. India is blaming this on Pakistan. Pakistan is saying they did not do it. And they have closed their borders. They have revoked visas for each other's countries. Again, hopefully they don't go to war. I believe that they're both nuclear powers. I think it said so in this article. Wouldn't it be... It's not funny. Wouldn't it be wild, though, if, like, India and Pakistan started the nuclear war? It's like, we were all so focused on all the shit that's happening over here, and then all of a sudden, India and Pakistan just blow each other up, and we're like, ah! Anyway, probably not the thought that you want to have on a Saturday night. I am not exactly the most cheerful person this weekend, I'll be honest with you. What is happening with civil rights being revoked, and, like, is it called the ECOA, like the Equal Credit something Opportunity Act or something? It's the one that was given that gave women the ability to have a credit card and like have a bank account in their own name without a fucking man on it in 1974. You know, I think with the Trump administration going after civil rights and going after women, and very clearly stating that they feel like ensuring equal rights and like giving us legal recourse to defend ourselves in the instance of discrimination, in the instance of a bank saying to me like, oh no, we're not going to give you a bank account because you're a woman and you're unmarried, which this would like, the loosening of those legal definitions would enable a bank to do that if they wanted to. They may or may not do it, but it would be almost impossible to legally go after them with this executive order unless someone like goes in and overturns it and all this fucking shit. Anyways, I think, again, it's just like sinking in a little deeper for me emotionally what's happening here. And, you know, I have some friends that are hopeful and say this won't last. And then I have some friends that, you know, let's just remember that what happened in Iran can absolutely happen here. And we just don't know is the truth. Anything would be guessing, you know, any type of speculation at this point would be guessing as to whether the United States is repairable or if it's over, you know, in its what it was, if what it was is unable, if we're unable to bring it back. But time will tell. It's just very distracting, and there's days and even weeks, obviously, where I felt fairly unaffected emotionally because I was just like, yeah, I knew all of this was going to happen. But then there's things like deporting 2-year-olds and like going into people's homes without a warrant and taking away the rights of women and minorities. Like, that just fucking hit me a little harder. So anyways, that's where I'm at. But I am going to go eat something, get back to hanging out with my puppy. He's doing really well. We took a couple walks today. He looks like he's healing great, and he's acting pretty much normal, which is good and bad because he wants to play fetch, and he's not allowed to. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you all have a good night. Stay out of trouble.